Good evening. Yes, karibuni kwa darasa ya doa, or the marriage classroom, where we always learn and keep learning and we don't graduate. That is not sad. It's only that now that we got the certificate before we went to class, we have to continue learning, okay? So that we enjoy our marriages and not endure. And we want to welcome our online viewers, those that are watching us this evening, kwa television, kwa YouTube or Facebook. We want to welcome you, be with us in this class and learn together with us. You can also call somebody who has not been aware of it, mwambie tuko live or tuko on na some pamoja na sisi. Na kabla tujaendelea, tungetaka kuomba tumwalike Mungu awe pamoja nasi tukisoma. Karibu John, saidie kusoma.
Wacha tuamini tuombe. Baba Mwenyezi, katika jina la Yesu tunasema ni asante kwa sababu ya siku hii ya leo ambayo umetupa Mfalme, ili tukaweza kujifunza kuhusu ndoa, mfalme wa maajabu, ili tukaweza kuwa na ukamilifu. Tuomba ya kwamba ukatupa neema ya kuweza kuelewa na hata kupata maarifa zaidi kwa ajili ya sifa na utukufu na heshima jina lako, katika jina la Yesu Kristo tuomba na kuamini.
Amen. Asante. Tuashukuru kwa kuwa na nafasi jema. We will remind ourselves a little bit of what we learned so that we can, what we call it, katika darasa is from the known to the unknown. So that at least na wale pengine maybe this is your first time to join us, unaweza jua pale tuko. We have been looking at stages of marriage briefly. So in the stages of marriage, we have been looking at the first ones. We have looked at quite a number of them. And so we started with the first one. Anyone who can remember? Those who've been in the class? But I can remind us very fast. We had what we call the honeymoon stage or the romance stage. This is between the first 2 to 3 years because there's a lot of love around here. It's more like fantasy because the first 2 years, although I may be going to 3 years, everyone is just excited that they found one another, or they were found, or they were gotten. So the next one is where we now settle down. We call it settling down, or sometimes cooperation stage. So settling down, and the reason is at this stage there is a lot that we have to come down now that we got married. Maybe a child has come or two, because this is between the 2 to 5 years. So people have to settle down and know now we are in for it or for our lives, and this is what we ever desired. But now the settling down means the reality comes down. Then we have the third stage, which we looked at, and these are at quite some length. And the reason is because this seems to be the stage where many things happen, and maybe the challenges are more. And we call it, or it's sometimes called the disillusionment. The disillusionment stage, lasting between the 5 years going all the way to about 15, almost 20 years. This is because at this time, children are many. Then they are growing. Some have become teenagers. And this is where they start now challenging us and authority. And so it is a lot of, and maybe the challenges of, this is the time you realize either the goals or the dreams have not been met. We are most many years. So sometimes 5 to 15, maybe not going to 10, maybe we say we go to the state where we have the up to 20 marks, to 20 years. But you realize at this stage we looked at some of the ills that may plague this, and I'll mention very fast. There was the issue of where people get bored. There is the boredom. And then there is the familiarity, which is good, but sometimes when it is too much, then people don't get excited about one another. They are so familiar with one another. Then we continue the way. Then we had contempt. There is criticism here. People become, criticizing one another. And the last one we looked here was stonewalling. That is, people live together, but they seem to have put a wall between them. But it can be a challenge. And then the fourth stage, which we looked at last time, so that we may go to today's topic, is adjustment. So after the challenges that we have, we ask ourselves now, what next? So after going through all these crises, the disillusionment stage, then to the fourth stage, the midlife, and all that, we come to adjust. Realize now, we are not going to go and buy a new beginning. We can have a happy ending. We can adjust. But the adjustment can have three consequences. There was the first one we said, there are some who reach here, wakifika hapa wanaona hatuendi tena kwa sababu hii mambo imekuwa baya, watu wamekuwa, almost like enemies. And so they may decide of three options. One, the unfortunate one is where they disannul, or we have the discontinuation, or sometimes we call it dissolution. So they just dissolve the marriage, or they separate because they think we can't move on. This is not what the Lord desired, because we can still work throughout on that. But then we also have another one, which is not a good option, which is called resigning or resignation. Now, ile ni tulisema bora uhai. Yo inadoa, huwezi toka, kuna watoto. Au mtu anauliza, sasa ninaenda ni wapi? Na nimezeeka, hata nikirudi kwetu mnakaa sasa, lakini maybe even people in separate bedrooms, cooking separate food. Unaamuka unapika kadhari yako mwingine kaugari yake, but you are together, mnaingia mlango moja, but people they have resigned, and sometimes, I'm sorry to say that this is what sometimes affect most marriages, especially Christian marriages, who maybe because of the church, they don't want to go here, but they don't also want to work on it. They feel there is a lot of bitterness, there is a lot of hate, but they want to continue kwa sababu watu watasemaje. Okay? Kanisa itasema ji. Lakini, even though we are sticking here, then this means you are enduring, not enjoying. But we can go to the last one, which we said is the best stage, which is called contentment, or seeking contentment. That is the third one, is the contentment stage. And this is now bringing us up to where we are now. Contentment, because once we realize now we are in it together here, it may not be so bad. We have had the rough patch, and every other couple goes through this, because let me tell you, kuna any marriage made in heaven. You can tell me about that your kids will be the best in the world. Okay? You've had even ministers of the gospel, or even people that are working with God, their children one time become prodigal. So at this time is how we negotiate here. After that, we come here and it's like, now these are our children. We will love them. We will pray for them. Okay? And our in-laws and all that. So we are seeking contentment in that marriage. Then we can move now to the fifth stage. For this, we would call it the last. I know in some books or in some others have 7, others even have 10, but I believe I looked at them and I think this more summarizes. So that this is usually the last stage, as we call it, the one sometimes it's called renewal. If there was any adjustment, there can be renewal. Sometimes it's called fulfillment stage. sometimes called completion stage. There are many, because of the things that at this time is like you've already adjusted, and now you're realizing this is now the best time we'll have together. So this is very key. I don't know how many of us here are at this stage. Now, maybe some of the characteristics would be like at this stage, we are beyond 25, because this is at around midlife. The adjustment, this one touches about midlife, and almost this one goes to going 25 years in marriage. But by the time you're reaching 30 years in marriage, that means you are about 50. 54, or we have already gone to what we call the golden age years, where mnaona maisha na golden tint. So it is at this stage now here where we have either the children are not at home, either we are retiring or we are heading to retirement. So actually it is at that stage. So I don't know. I know the other time there was a class where we had quite a number at honeymoon. Okay, we had I think 2, then we went to settling. There were more, and then we had others who were here. Maybe just to ask, out of interest, where are we?
I'm in the Renewal, I think so.
Oh, you are in the Renewal.
Yeah.
Okay. Give the mic to Anne. Oh, you're in the same stage. Okay, I didn't know you were the wife. That's okay. Caroline?
I think I'm in settling cooperation.
Yeah.
Number 2, yeah.
Number 2?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Karibu. And Teresia?
I am settling cooperation there.
Settling here. So, children still at the CBC?
Yes.
Oh, yes. These are the CBCs here.
Yes.
Najua ni wale wa 844. Walikuwa hapa, watoto wako wa 844 hapa, kwa disillusionment and adjustment. Mostly those who are here, ni wale wa either ilikuwa 7 years, Simon Makode. Ulisema Simon Makode was born. Hawa ni wale wa read with us. Na Mr. Kamau and the bus. Yes, na progressive English somewhere here. Yes, that is and member Tabitha.
I am in adjustment.
Adjustment. Hapa. Oh, good. Yes, Mr. Henley.
I think I could be in 2 stages. I don't know whether it's possible, but I feel like stage 3, disillusionment and adjustment.
Yeah, because this one overlaps between 20-something years to 15 to 25 years.
Because I'm doing 23.
Oh, yeah. You should be in somewhere there.
Exactly.
And our Phineas.
I'm in stage 2, settling.
Yeah, settling down. Okay, yeah, that's good. Thank you so much. Yeah, so let's look at just the characteristics of this stage at this time, because we'll look at later in another lesson, another week, on how to navigate through those challenges. So we have said these are people that have moved from now adjustment, they are in that renewal stage. So although it's sometimes called many, description, we call it renewal. It can be the renewal and commitment. There is we call it fulfillment, completion. Others even call it acceptance phase. Acceptance, if you have known the issue of the stages of grieving, the last one, wakati sasa umeona hakuna kitu inaweza badilika, we accept. So this could be like an acceptance stage, yeah? We are in it together for the long haul. Unaenda wapi? 60 years. Hata ukirudi soko anyway. Miaka imesoga, but it's okay. Then sometimes also called the real love stage. So what do we have at this stage? You realize at this stage, people have known one another completely, almost. They can even know when one is angry, even without saying. What else? What else do you know about one another?
There is a lot of forbearance and no quarrel.
True. It's called more like null stage, yeah? Very few quarrels. Because somehow it's like umezoea. Hiyo ndio tabia yake, anamkanga akiwa amekasirika. So ukai ukiuliza, nini nimekukasirika? You've already known for many years. That's how he is. Another, Karen?
There's a switch mode.
Just a bit.
There's a switch mode because sometimes you learn this is the behavior that he has. So or I have. So there's the way you switch off. You continue. You say, let me take over in this space now. So I think it is in that journey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. So as I said, there is a switch mode is where you have realized now if it's like this or it's like this, I can do. Like now I've realized there are people who have realized I can do something even and you wouldn't mind, okay? Let's say like, I'm sorry to do myself, and I'm short. But there are those times I've realized now, if I needed something up there, but kuja unitole, you will find me. Now, sasa you're on top of a table. Now, ukianguka, you know, it's some of those things is like, you learn to, and you don't make noise that he didn't help you. So you mezoeana. Phineas?
It's on the same, where you don't expect anything from her.
Yes.
Let's say we want to take a shower. You carry a bucket of water. You take a shower. You make your clothes and go.
Yes. Yeah. So thank you. You realize, in fact, we say there are few surprises about a partner's habit or behavior. So somehow I remember listening to a post one day, him talking about now that there are he has crossed quite a number of applications. Just like you may have a gadget and you realize, I don't need this, I don't need. And he was saying sometimes when he was young, he would wake up and, they were young in marriage, he would have food that is cold and he's just saying, calling somebody very far, the wife, very angry. Ebu kuja hapa? And wondering what is it. Paka unazima maziwa, ati, ebu hoja hii chakula. What is wrong with it? Ebu hoja, it's like, you don't want even to say what is ati, usikia hina chumvi, just simply that, instead of saying, kuja na chumvi, au chakula hina chumvi, au where is salt. But at that time, I know at this stage, and I'm not saying this is all that's going to happen, you realize people pick out things, quarrels, kitu ungefanya. Ebu, kitu hii inafanya nini hapa? What is this one doing? Ebu kuja, mama so kuja. And this is something that you can lift, if it's a cup, and put it somewhere, and don't make a quarrel and say, na vikombe nilipata pale. But now you want somebody to come here. What is this one doing? Nani alikuwa nayo? You waste a lot of time trying to explain, and you realize now. But at this stage, you cross so many applications. As he says, maji ni baridi, unaweza enda kama gadi ya gas, weka moto. Okay? Kama chakula ni baridi, kuna microwave. Unaenda unajiwekea moto, unakuja unakula, okay? You realize maybe you need tea, maybe even there is a coffee mixer. You just do some, says, nilete hapa, and it's like somebody is doing something. So you can even leave your wife sleeping, you wake up, you do something, or even for her or for yourself. So they say that's why they are calling it renewal or fulfillment. And I believe that you desire, and this is our prayer and desire, that each one of us can go. I know we may be looking at this rough stage and wondering, hii kweli itatokea? Tutabotoboa? Yes, there is always that stage where we are there in that stage for us with my husband. And so the other day, and our daughter went to study outside the country, the last born now. We are actually together only. So inanjo, the funny thing was tulikuwa tunaambiana lazima tuamue vile tutakaa pamoja. In Kikuyu is very funny. No ginya tutu oria tureikaranagia, you know, because somehow you realize zai unaweza kuja unasikia unataka kitu, either you go or you say the other person. Alafu anakuangalia na shidwa sasa, you know, kitu iko pale. And you know, you look at whether you realize now these things, we used to call her our remote. So unaona TV iko pale, remote iko pale ile. Now you can't call somebody, kuja unilete remote. You realize you go and pick it and do it whatever. So somehow you find, yes. So at this time we say, even though people have known other person's flaws, umejua mashida yake na faults zake, umeamua kukana yeye. Ya kwamba hukuoa malaika. By now you've already known she's just a normal human being. Though she was like the angel you saw. Yeah, you look like an angel. And there was a prince charming. Then after that, unajua huwa anakasirika, anangorota. Na sahi kama anangorota mpaka unaamuka. Sometimes because there are many bedrooms, but akukasirika. Sasa unangorota unanyamusha. You know, sometimes it depends on what he ate and how tired he was or she was. So sometimes there are those times you realize, maybe these young people, those are young in marriage don't understand. You realize kuna siku mawazo iko mingi au kuna jabo au pengine uko na safari, so you find you're not sleeping. You don't blame the one who is sleeping. He is the cause or she is the cause. Okay? Atunaka ukimwamsha. Lala vizuri, wacha kungorota. Na ni wewe mashida iko mingi. What you do? Kama kuna pali ingine unaweza pata usigizi, wachana naye angorote. Asubiri unaweza mwambia story yenyewe. Ulingorota niko na ziwezi amsha wewe na sikwa na usigizi. Chukua piro. Enda kwa Rubiki na lala. Akikuuliza kwa nini mwambie nilishindwa kulala lakini sikutaka kuamsha. In that way you care for one another. It's not strange, but it does happen. And you know, in this case, I also find like, for those, that's what we are calling it renewal fulfillment. You realize, at this stage, some even we had never thought of, you know, renewing the marriage vows. Au pengine ilikuwa ile ya come and stay. Ulikuja kukaa na ukaka na ukurudi kwenu. Lakini umeona umekaa miaka 30, tarudi. Mnaamua sasa, why don't we stay and legalize our marriage? That's the time you find mtu anasema wako na kweru hiyo hiki. Okay? They are committing them, you know, to marriage, so they go, you find mzee wa 50, mamama, wanaenda kanisani, wanafanya ati harusi saa hiyo. And what they have had for all that long. It's more like renewal and commitment. Something else?
When you go to the market and you find something good, it is not like when you are young. You go and say, I have seen something, you can go for it.
Yes.
You purchase, you come with it. Because you take it as part of you now.
Yes.
It is your responsibility, not somebody else's responsibility.
Yes.
Anything that you see good, you purchase. You bring to your loved ones.
Wow. That's good. And that's why we are calling it a time of real love. Yes. You'll find sometimes you get those surprises or things that you used to get. Somebody has gone to the market and he's purchasing and realize, oh, there's chocolate. I used to buy chocolate. You know, for now, you realize it is two of you. You find something and then you just say, oh, yeah. You remembered and can remember that there was one time you used to be very happy when you were brought chocolate. Or you, as he says, you go and find a shirt and now this looks good. And you just buy, say, niliona hii, nikakufikiria, and it's always, and that is a very important time. Phineas has something?
I don't know if it's personality, a character of somebody. No, you might marry someone who doesn't even know how to buy an onion or a tomato.
Yes.
Here is a man who does the other course, he buys onions, he buys vegetable and brings.
Yes.
So it depends at this stage, all those 4 stages, it depends on the character or how someone is being brought up. Kuna mtu yeye ni kawaida yake kuenda sokoni na ni mwanaume. So angoji akikuta kitunguu hakuna kwa nyumba, yeye anachua ni aende arete. Sio kuambia bibi hakuna kitunguu hapa. Unaona? Inakuwa the other side ya kwamba bibi ndiye anasema hakuna kitunguu. So pia inategemea kwa hiyo 4 stages mtu amekuwa brought up aje. Amesoea kwenda soko, amesoea kuorganize vitu kwa nyumba. Bibi hayuko ana hiyo character. So ni vizuri pia kuelewana kwa hiyo stage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes. And as you say, katika hii stage ni rahisi sana kuelewana. Kwa sababu umeona tabia zingine kama ya kulala kwa kiti. Sijui kina at this time you realize kulala kwa kiti kuna stage ya kulala kwa kiti halafu ya kwenda baadaye. Naona John wakicheka hapa. Nani huwa analala kwa kiti? You're the one, okay? Na kwangera. I know her. Jerry, my name. Yes. Yeah. So I am now. My husband keeps telling me, "Ni kama sasa nimeelewa ni kwenu." So I think she's gone to two of my sisters' place, and it's like we are talking there, and somebody is off kwa kiti. Na talala alafu anaamka naenda. You know, we used to say ati unapiga gorogoro gapi? Biri kwa kiti. So every time is like, I told him, no, you've not understood that usigizi ya kiti ni mzuri. Yes. Yeah, I wish he was here to hear that it is so sweet. Because many times, Njeri usilale hapo. Namwambia sasa sina kugoja. Hapana, mimi sitakuita nikimaliza. I tell him najua utaniita tu. But he always fights this even up to today. But now it's where you find live and let live. So I tell him sincerely, gorogoro gapi? Bili tu hapa kwa kiti before I move on. So you'd rather I start off in namwambia ya whatever haina. It's not so sweet. Anyway, you realize some of these habits are there, and so we come to learn one another. And another thing is we also learn to celebrate one another. Here, maybe one of us or maybe one part of the family person maybe has even achieved a lot. So there's not really like any competition. What happens is people learn to celebrate one another or be part of the other person's success. Okay? Any other?
At this stage, now you see you are able now to be able to control the children, both of you. No divide and rule.
Yes.
Initially, on the upper stage, at the teenage stage, the children schemes out and they work. They know how to separate the parents.
Yes.
They know they come to you, they joke with your mind, then they go on the other side. And now they know how to separate you. But at this stage now, you have come together. Whatever the mother has agreed is what the father has agreed. Now the family get strong.
True. That's very good, because at this time you realize what we are handling here at the decisionment and the adjustment sometimes is also adjusting to our children who, as you say, wanatusoma. Wanajuanga sasa mgongo nyororo. Okay? And who they know hawezi sasa ukiona papa nakuja, then they all behave. And the mother was there. Or mama anakuja, run for your lives, you know. And the dad was there. Adi mtakutwa, hamuja, you know. And the father is the one who is telling them, umekutwa. And he was there, and he would not tell them. So what happens? The children find like, this time they know who to. But when they are here, when at this stage you are together, they know they can't play with one, because the other one will say, so and so came, or he said this. I remember we used to, when we were young, we used to love it when my mother has gone. Pengine ameenda kutembelea wazazi wake, because that's the time dad would cook all his delicious food, and then we loved the way he used to cook. Then he would, there was this time when you have ile, I don't know, that was the gas of that time. Now I don't know whether we have those relics now. Kulikuwa ka stove kegine kalikuwa ka pressure unafanya unaweka halafu kanatoa ile ya the flame kama ya gas hii tu kabisa, ka stove kama hii, si kama ingine ya dabi hivi ka pressure. Yeah, now if you had that one, you know you are that stage of gas, but you know my mother would not want to use that. So akienda tunajua sasa tutapikia hiyo ka stove. So tunakatafuta kanawekwa mafuta because my father would rather use not kuni and all that. So we are cooked those special things and he will come and tell mom what we were cooked for. And it's like, oh. So somehow you realize why we would have wished her to go na tunamwambia akae kidogo wiki moja, kwa sababu with our dad we knew now you eat whatever you want. Kama ni ile unajua ile nyama ya kupika pamoja na viazi pamoja na zinapikwa pamoja and it tastes nice kuliko ile ya kuanza kwa kitunguu. Kuna vile men do all of them and they taste well anyway. And I don't know, but this is where at this stage now you are together, then we are moving on. But they also have some challenges which we'll look at later. Because it is not always that it is one of the best stages. Okay, mostly, preferably, I mean, as the comparably, tunasema katika hii stage, hii ndio pengine the most quiet. Kwa sababu hata majukumu inakaa kama hii ya honeymoon. But you realize now honeymoon iko na, I mean, the energy and all that, lakini katika hii it's more quiet but still fulfilling. In fact, we talk about here, there is more romance, there is more commitment, and all, there is commitment, there is more love here, and here there is more cooperation. There is maybe romance may not be there, but you really find these people have learned how to cope together in a way. They may not be telling one another every day, I love you, I love you, I love you, but you can see even the way they talk and look at one another. It's only that they can't keep repeating those words every other day. Yes. You can see even how they talk. Okay. So which are those challenges at this stage? Majorly. Let's hear from Phineas. Yes,
challenges here is mostly is financial challenges.
Yes.
That is the most I can say challenges at this stage.
Yes.
Yeah,
we have the financial challenge or the strains. Why? Can tell us?
Yeah, if you had not planned properly, or if you didn't have work, you are depending on casual work, it will you'll face utakuwa unasumbuka sana, because now hapa watoto wako high school ama wengine wako university, so you are straining financially, and maybe if you are paying rent, all those things, they come in. Now you try to see how things work. How can you put things together, put food on the table, pay rent, pay fees, and that is why the finances you strain a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, and actually that is the cause of other things. You know, if the wife expects you to perform this duty and you are not meeting it, he might see that you are not a man, and then some other things arises there. Yeah, it
is key. It's true. The financial strain, as you say, can also be affected because of also the fact that hajitapata kazi kama kijana. Isi kama kuna mjengo, mzee akikuja unamhurumia, unaona afadhali kijana. Not so at this stage he may have need for money, but also he doesn't have she doesn't have the energy. Right now, hata kama mama alikuwa amezoea kufanya hata kazi ya nyumbani kwa watu, una realize I would rather have a younger person than, so at this stage 60, 50, you realize very hard to find the employment. And even when they are working, you realize the benefit, whatever they call the package, the retirement package, is not that really one that can maintain maybe a lifestyle if they had one where walikuwa nakaa kwa nyumba kubwa iko na mahitaji, stima na kila kitu. Remember, kama ni nyumba kubwa, wengine watoto wameshaenda. Okay? That's true. Any other?
Healthy.
Yes, we also have the other challenge, and the major one is usually the health challenges. Kwa sababu katika wakati huu mwili imekuwa kazi ni kama gari, imekuwa barabara for a long time. So what is happening is that there are challenges of health. Unaenda hapa, pengine ulikuwa tired, next time unasikia ni radiator. Unacheka John. Yes, so other challenge.
I'm seeing the challenge of loneliness.
Yes.
Especially if the two are not very tight, and they have not built their love to a level where they can enjoy their life together. And I'm also seeing an issue of because now their children are getting married, and there could also be that challenge of the in-laws and all that. Like, for example, daughter-in-law, son-in-law, and all those challenges which come with that.
Yes. We have, as he says, the issue of people who have not lived together. So you've suddenly been together and staying together and never had time to bond. So when you come together here, unakuta sasa moja anasikia lonely. Maybe nani anasikianga more lonely. Let's be
actually at this stage, if a man is working, he comes at the monthly basis or after 2 months, and he's working in Nairobi. When you come home after retirement, you are an intruder. Whatever, now you try to put some your rules, and the people that you're finding at home, they have not been used to you. Now there is a lot of resistance, and as a result, you find that now you begin to grow the blood pressure, diabetic and other things. And the death is very eminent there, because now you see like you're in your own world. It's like you're not in your place, but it's as a result of the kind of the job that you are doing. You never used to be in the place always. Yes.
You can see, Tabitha.
Unafika mahali unapata mama ama baba ameweka kitu mahali amesahau. Ajui paliko, labda nikifungua amesahau, labda ni pesa alikuwa amepewa na watoto amesahau. Unapata hiyo hali inakuwa ngumu sana.
Yeah, those health challenges, especially we are calling memory loss, where unakuta mtu anatafuta au mama anauliza nimeweka wapi kijiko nako nayo hapa. Tina nani wapi kijiko endako? Hapata simu. Unaambia mtu nipigie na iko kwa mkono. And watu wanatucheka lakini. Yeah, but now there was something he has said, and I think I want to just emphasize a little bit, maybe even for our viewers to understand. It's not always that when somebody has been working far, they come and find themselves lonely. If there has been that communication, okay? The communication to the fact that even in this era of phones, you talk to your children, you talk to your wife. They do not only see you at the end of the month, bringing the money and then you are gone. So if there is that communication, now that you've come back, they will be looking forward to that time now when you are around, because you used to talk. But there are these people who don't even know when they will be coming. They keep it like it's their secrets. Ni kama tu unakuja kustua watu nyumbani. Okay? Uangalie kama wamekuwa kikaa vile. Unadhania. Okay, unakuja unatoka. Wanasema paka ameenda, wanatawala. Sasa paka akirudi for good, now things will not be as good as they are. So you realize, unaingia city room, wote wanatoka, wanaenda kwa mama, jikoni. Because all that they knew is when you come, it was looking for what? Leta report perfume yako. Naona umekuwa ukicheza, ni pesa tu napoteza, Yeah, those even you say nauza ng'ombe na somesha ng'ombe. You know, some words we use even on our children and all that, and you are here because you think you are an accounting officer and you come home, you want to know what you've been doing. Mimi nasikia we mama aliniambia ulikuwa unafanya hivi, if it is a girl. And so as you come, they only know anytime you come, okay, you have money, but there is always that time you disrupt their peace. And then you go, then come back. So at the end of the time, when you come home, it may be like you may be lonely. But I pray that we help one another, that we become best friends of our spouses, because there is this time at this, for us to enjoy this side of renewal, then there must be a way we have related all through. Woe unto somebody who decided at midlife crisis, wakati tulikuwa tuna adjust hapa, where there was the boredom, there was the familiarity, there was criticism, and you realize kuna mwingine anakufeel huko nje, anakuelewa, okay, anakupenda. Halafu baadaye hapa, unajua at midlife crisis, we think we can get a new beginning instead of adjusting. So mwingine na uko 40, 45, unatafuta kashungwa. So at this stage here, moja hako 30, uko 60. Okay? Watoto wengine wale wa bibi ya kwanza, wako wamemaliza 844, unaanzia CBC. Unakataa kwenda parent day. Kwa sababu watoto wanacheka ati ni baba yako ni kuka. Au unaambia watoto usinite baba uko shule. I know. Our man used to do that. Alikuwa anaambia watoto wasimuite baba hadharani. But now how do children, you know, whether for them you are daddy, but daddy who you anyway. Because now at this time you realize if you have disparity, especially in age and seasons of life, it will not be a time of solace. This is one of the challenges. And as you say, kuva ni haraka. Kwa sababu hapa pengine ulipendeka kwa sababu ya pesa. Hapa huna. So, hata kama ni your retirement, I've seen many, even a place where I work. Once, when you are around there and you are a good lecturer and professor, that's the time you have somebody there. Once they have retired, where have they gone home? Nyumbani. Huyu ulikuwa na hapa alikuwa na penda uprofesa. Okay? Lakini saa hii nyumbani unakaa hapa tufanye nini? Enda nyumbani. Na huko when is the last time you were there? You only paid school fees. So the children know the mother. So you go home. After some 2-3 years unasikia so and so amejiendea. And so sad. You wanted to say something, yes?
Na kitu ningependa kuongezea hapo. Hii ya loneliness. Saa zingine kenye mtu anapandanga, anakuja kuvuna. Wakati uko na pesa, mumeanza humble beginning, Mungu amewabariki. Sana sana wazee. Sipendi kuingilia wazee lakini hapa acha tu niseme hivyo. Mumebarikiwa kabisa. Wewe unaacha bibi nyumbani, unaenda zako. Unaenda unapata kashungwa. Munaenda mnakula ile mali. Mama pambana na watoto wameshakuwa wakubwa. Sasa hiyo watoto unaona mama ndio kila kitu. Hata kama baba anatuma kitu, mama hawezi ongea. Jua ulimuacha ukaenda kukula na nani? Na kashungua huko. Sasa watoto Mungu naye anawasaidia, wanafanya nini? Wanakuwa. Wakati wanakuwa wanapata kazi, na ndio maana unaona hata hapa sana sana, wazee sana sana wanafinyika sana kuliko wa mama. Yule mtoto anakumbuka tu mama. Mama ndio alinifundisha. Mama ndio alikuwa kila kitu mama. Hata wenye wanatutazama wazee sana sasa hii age yetu hapo namba 2 wasikubali tusione kama hapo.
Naomba Mungu atusaidie, ndio tunaongea hii. Tusiwahi kufikiri hakuna wakati kutakuja hapa.
Ni kweli.
Because hapa unaweza kuwa na mali, you are the executive, everyone, even the secretaries, you know, this is the time even you go, as we were looking at the infidelity, where it starts at the workplace. Unasema mnaenda kazi na secretary, you know, people just way off. And then leave the mother or the wife at home with the children. Ukijua tu, akae huko alishe na alinde watoto. And you have this part becoming very chaotic. At this time now, she's already learned how to handle life. The children she struggled with, hapa ndio sahi, pengine wameanza kuwa na kazi. Wanakumbuka mama. Unakuja, mama anapewa 500, halafu wewe unapewa 500 na hadharani. Yeye amepewa secretary, yako ni 500 na ni hadharani. Lakini ya mama ni hapo kando. That's now the problem. And I pray that God helps us. Even those now that we are here, tujue ya kwamba there is a way we can negotiate over this.
Hapo number 2, settling down hapo.
Hapa.
Wazazi tuchunge sana tunapolea watoto. Watoto wanatusoma sana venye tunakaa. Mimi mama venye naongelesha baba ama mzee venye naongelesha bibi. Tuchunge sana hapo. Juu kuna kitu tunapanda kwa watoto wetu.
Asante. Wow, hiyo ni ujumbe mzuri ya kumalizia. Tuchunge vile tuna relate hapa. We have people who are watching, and after that they realize they know what went on. So thank you so much. I believe next lesson we will learn a lot, even our viewers. I want you to make sure that you book the next lesson so that we are there together. We learn more what to do at this stage. God bless us, and thank you so much. Bye. Bye.